Welcome students to the class of electronic switching unit 4. Today we'll be discussing channel associated signaling and common channel signaling. So it is all about signaling procedures and protocols in telecommunication, how a call is set up, how a call is terminated, and etc. etc. So there are two main methods. One is channel associated method and another is common channel signaling method. In telephony, signaling is what? Signaling is the exchange of information between two involved points or parties in the network that sets up, controls and terminates each telephone call. So there are several types of signaling depending upon the location from where the signaling is going and to which point. That the first thing is the subscriber based signaling or line signaling, where the subscriber dials the telephone and the telephone dial tone goes to the exchange. So this is the line signaling. Second is, once the signal reaches the exchange, there is intra exchange signaling or register signaling. That is for finding the caller and slash or, that is either the caller or both the caller and the called telephone addresses from the register located in the internet in the exchange, telephone exchange. And third thing is the trunk calls, like the inter exchange signalings from one exchange to the other exchange signaling. So there are several features of control signal functions. What are the purposes of this kind of signals? Number one is audible communication with the subscriber. The subscriber comes to know whether a particular channel is engaged through dial tone, some beeping sound, etc. etc. Transmission of dial numbers. The subscriber dials the numbers by DTMF tones. Then call cannot be completed indication, call ended indication. We are all aware that in the ending of the call there is a particular tone that is generated, and etc. etc. Signal to ring a phone, billing information, equipment and trunk status information, diagnostic information and many others like this. So as we have discussed, there is two different categories. One is channel associated signaling to first start with. So what is channel associated signaling? See, channel associated signaling is also known as part trunk signaling, PTS, is a form of digital communication signaling. So why it is called channel associated signaling? Now with this kind of signaling, the routing information is encoded and transmitted in the same channel as the payload itself. That means the channel through which the voice is traveling, in that particular channel and bandwidth, the routing information and the signaling information is also running. So the signaling information and the voice and other data payloads are running along the same line. They are sharing the same channel. This information can be transmitted in the same band. So as far as frequency is concerned, so either they are in the same band, that is within 3400 Hz or around 4 kilohertz, or in a separate band outside the 4 kilohertz or 3.4 kilohertz band. So within channel associated signaling, there are two different provisions. Either the signaling is traveling within the bandwidth of the voice signal or just outside the bandwidth of the voice signal. Call setup will be comparatively slower, since in this kind of signaling, it will be slower since signaling channels are shared, thus congestion can be faced. CS potentially results in lower available bandwidth for the payload. Lower because if they share the same bandwidth, it is very clear that the payload will share lesser bandwidth. For example, in public switch telephone network or PSTN, the use of out-of-band signaling within a fixed bandwidth reduces 64 kilobytes per second DS0 to 56 kilobytes per second. That means if we keep aside some bits for signaling, so see that the effective data rate will be reduced from 64 kbps to 56 kbps. So because of this and the inherent security benefits of separating the control lines, so there are different disadvantages with this channel associated signaling. So that we have discussed. So telephone systems introduced since the 1980s rely more on common channel signaling. This is also called CCS or common channel signaling. So as it is shown over here that in channel associated signaling the user and signal both are running in the same, it is also running over here, it is also running over here to the same channel. But in common channel signaling, this is your CCS and this is your CAS, this is your CAS. But in common channel signaling, the signaling traffic is running in other way and the voice traffic is running in other way. Okay, so this is common channel signaling. See, the signaling traffic is running in a separate channel, and the payload or the voice or data, whatever it is running through a user traffic. Now, what are the drawbacks of in-channel signaling? So, reduced transfer rate because they share the same channel bandwidth, delay between dialing and connection, interference between voice and control signal may occur, separate signaling, so delay, reduced transfer rate, interference between voice and control, separate signal equipment, that will be a matter of rising cost. So, the industry has moved to common channel signaling. So, in CCS, the transmission of control information of the signaling via a separate channel than that they used for message. The signaling channel usually controls multiple messages channels. In the public switch telephone network, one channel of a communication link is typically used for the sole purpose of carrying signaling for establishing and tear down of telephone calls. So separate channel. Then the remaining channels are used entirely for the transmission of the payload. In most cases, a single 64 kbps channel is sufficient to handle the call setup and call tear down traffic for numerous bearer. Thousands of calls can be handled by the common channel signaling method, voice and data both. So a single channel can take care of signaling channel can take care of for lots of voice and data calls. A popular protocol in digital transmission is known as Signaling System 7 or SS7. So SS7 is a popular protocol in CCS. There are 3 nodes in SS7. One is SSP or signaling switching point. What are these? These are the basic subscribers telephones. So these are telephone switches equipped with SS7 capable software. This is one. Number 2, STP or signaling transfer point are the packet switches of the SS7 network. They receive and route incoming signal messages towards the proper destination. So these are the routing points of the SS7 signaling, and they are terminated towards the destination. Now, what is SCP or signaling control point? A database that provide information necessary for advanced call processing capabilities. So this is the basic device. This is the routing mechanism point, and this is for database purpose. So all these things are required in SS7 signaling. So let us see a beautiful diagram that I have downloaded from the internet, but unfortunately I have not been able to put the reference. See, these are the SSPs. So see, SSPs are signaling switching point. So subscriber line are from SSPs. So see, these are SSPs. Okay, and the subscriber lines are all red, and the voice trunk is going from A to C, from A to B, and from B to D. So these are all green lines are voice trunks or payloads. But these W and X and Y and Z are STPs. These are STPs. These are STPs, and and we have seen the SCPs or signaling control points. So these are the signaling control points. So these are the signaling control points. In the routing, we require all the databases. So signaling control points are all connected to the STPs, and ultimately the signal is converging to the destination where the called number is there, that is at D. So this is a basic block diagram of a SS7 network. There are three nodes, SSP, STP and SCP, and it is very clear that the signal is running in a separate way. The signal is running like this, and the voice is running like this in separate channels. So advantage of using SS7, the time for call setup is reduced. Each signaling link can handle the signaling for several thousands of calls. Much less signaling equipment is required. By using alternate signaling route, the signaling is very secure. The system can be used many advanced options like SMS, call forwarding, etc. Thanks for watching. Please like and share. Bye.